Kevin, let's get right to it. What is it that holds up black males from being effective fathers? Why can't we reach our goal? Why can't we reach our goals? Why can't black males achieve what they want to achieve in this world, especially here in the United States? Now, many of us, and I'm a black father myself, will say, well, it's the system, it's systemic. Or we don't have the resources, we just don't have the money available. And while all of that may be true, most of us black fathers, most of the black fathers before us didn't have the resources, but they were resourceful. They did what they had to do. They found out which methodology would work for them. And I'm just saying that's what we need to do. The Opportunity Agenda report has statistics that showed every aspect of media consumption by black males, and indeed society as a whole, was negative. And it reinforced negative views as far as parental care, occupation, and where a lot of these areas are true. We do need to develop ourselves. A lot of the media attention that was given was false. The Opportunity Agenda showed that more males were in their homes, more black males were in their homes with their children than ever before. For instance, I became a black male father, single parent, in 1999. And at that time, there were 703,000 black male single parents in the country. In 2019, there was more than 1.5 million single black fathers in America. Far cry different from the abandonment that we're always given as a title. So again, we've been resourceful before, and we need to be resourceful now. There's no problem with having a little opposition. It keeps us straight. It keeps us strong. So I became really interested in how programs were run and the images and views put on black males from my extensive work in running programs with nonprofit and for-profit agencies that dealt with these population of people. I worked with Cook County Adult Probation and Parole. And I grew up in Inglewood, which is supposed to be one of the worst areas in Chicago to come up. I was adopted and never met my biological family. And my father was a very, very dark man. And he ran into a lot of problems raising a fair-complected guy. And I feel for him for that. But he did his best. I didn't see him often. I stayed a number of different places. But all of this combined, my adult experience, my upbringing, that I really took an interest in finding ways to have what I call today Black Fathers Project. The University of Illinois has done a report that also says black males are given the most negative images, and it affects not just them, but society as a whole. While we're waiting for a decision to be made on the George Floyd case, we have to admit that a lot of what's seen and what's done is really an anchor on progress for black or African American males. But from my experience, I think I've got a few points we can look at to deal with that. For one, we need to really invest our time, black males and fathers in particular. We need to really invest a lot of time in feeding our brains on how we can better manage, our situation, not just our families, but our finances, just our daily life. And that includes reading. I mean, it sounds fundamental, right? But reading reading what others have done before in this situation. And today, with the technology we have, we can reverse the effects of the media by getting a Kindle, and if you have relatively low reading ability, you have dual perception there. You can look at the words and hear the story and gain reading skills. So that's one way. I mean, really intensely. A major way also, and I hope that program designers, curriculum designers will consider that for our population, mentorship. And you hear about it all the time. And a lot of people say, what can a mentor do for me? Or, nobody's perfect, so why should I even listen to anyone else? But again, that point that no one's perfect is very important. None of us are perfect. But each of us have had a challenge that we've overcome, and we can share that with others. Like I said, when I became a single parent in 1999, there were 703,000 black males that were fathering single parent in their homes. Now there are over 1.5 million. So why not reach out to those individuals and have them contribute something to the programs that we design going forward in the future. Okay, we got mentorship and really delving down into studying and reading and researching how others have overcome the problem. Then what we need to do is set up a daily routine for ourselves. I have a room in my home where I just go for spiritual reinforcement, and that's whatever you want to do. I mean, I'm not separating anything on religion, but if you meditate or, if you pray, take time each day to find 3 things you have gratitude for, even though you have this adversity. And remember, too, that others have done this. It's been worse, and they've been resourceful, and they found ways to overcome. And I know that we can overcome this, too. We can overcome this media judgment. Might want to not pay so much attention to some of it because, they're in the business of business and making money. And we have to develop ourselves. So with the mentorship, with really studying different ways of effectuating the circumstances in our environment or in society, getting an exercise routine to change our negative habits to positive habits, then what we want to do is we want to just go crazy and be obsessed with what our goal is. See, I knew that I wanted to be a father because of being adopted, because of never meeting my biological family, and I knew I wanted to really help and give back when I started running programs and seeing that my 100% outcomes in about 2.5 years had faded. There was no way to do adequate follow-up, to leave something for them to go back to and refer to. So I think if these steps are implemented into a program, we'd see a major difference. And also, what we also need to do is we need to get in the proximity of others who have already made it through. Just anyone you meet that can help you, get a word from them, take a little something from them, and use it for yourselves. We have come a long way, really. And all we've wanted to do as black men is be a part of this program called the United States of America. We've taken a lot of flack, and we're not given the benefit of the doubt, I don't think. But at the same time, adversity is how you grow. There's something else I'd like to put in. Now, you can get your proximity and have your mentorship. You can have a daily habit that you're involved with. You can put all of these components into a program, but at the end of the day, reciprocity is what it's about. Reaching out to someone else, making sure that you have in your life the determination to reach out and help someone else. Give back to those who have given to you and set a great example where you can for them, yourself, and all of America. I think in these times, we need to really cherish our obstacles. Obstacles can help us grow. They can help us come together. And I want to put out that I'm aware that there are a lot of guys out there, black men, who say, well, Kev, I don't have the resources. I don't have the time. I don't have the money. You know, the system is working against me. But just remember, those before us have been very resourceful. We can check on them. I had representatives like Mr. and Mrs. Island. They're both in their mid-90s today. They still live in Inglewood. They're responsible for sending hundreds of black youth to school. And I have my children who remind me every day that things change. I mentioned to one, my daughter, how Frederick Douglass said, it's easier to raise a young man than fix a broken one. Well, that was then. We have the technologies and tools today to self-educate. Online learning is such a valuable tool, and we should use it. So in conclusion, I'd just like to say this. Diamonds have to go under a lot of pressure in order to become a diamond. Grapes have to be crushed to make fine wine. Olives have to be squeezed to get the oil. And seeds grow in darkness. So, to the black men out there who want to raise their families, who want to do the best they can in society, whenever you feel pressured, squeezed, or crushed, just know that you're sitting in the most powerful position for good transformation. Thank you very much.